everyone, Niklsun here, and welcome to Coming Soon Movie News with Niklsun. I'm your host, and on this show, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, we'll be going over all of the day's movie news, as well as going over what it means for the production in general, such as casting decisions, trailer announcements, director announcements, things like that. So, without any further ado, let's get started with today's Hot Topics. As most of you are aware, the 87th Annual Academy Awards were presented last night, and for the most part, it was a pretty standard show. Wasn't too much of a fan of Neil Patrick Harris, but some of his jokes really did land. I thought some of them were really funny. Some of them were just snooze fest. Like the Oprah joke, I thought shouldn't have had that at all. He tried to cover it up, but it didn't work. To me, the whole Carrie Case thing that he had kind of was the same thing they had last year, but with the pizzas. It was a funny gag, but they took it too far. They just went too far with it. The Snowden joke to me was a snooze fest. There wasn't too much to be happy about with the actual presentation of the awards, but that's to be expected nowadays, especially when they have just one host. I want them to bring back, like when they had, was it Steve Martin and Billy Crystal, I believe it was? No, it was Steve Martin and... Oh, I'm drawing a blank. Throw in the comment section who was the co-host with Steve Martin the last time that he did the Oscars. I'm drawing a blank right now. I'm sorry. But the awards, for the most part, were pretty standard. We didn't really see too many upsets. There were a few. I know that with my predictions, I had my 9 predictions here, and I had 6 of them correct for the 9 major categories. So I was correct with Birdman winning Best Picture. I actually thought that the Academy was going to award Richard Linklater with Best Director due to them not necessarily recognizing the film as the Best Picture of the year, but his accomplishment as a director. I figured that they were going to give him the award, but it was really nice to see Alejandro Inarritu winning that award, because Birdman was my favorite film. I wanted Inarritu to win, but I felt that the Academy was going to reward Linklater's service and what he had done for the film industry. With the Best Director award for Boyhood. But alas, I was wrong. It went to Inarritu, which I couldn't have been happier about. Unfortunately, Michael Keaton did lose out to Eddie Redmayne, although I even said that you can't argue with either one. They were both phenomenal performances. My favorite of the two was Michael Keaton, mostly because not only was it a fantastic performance, but the movie didn't hinge just on that performance. There were so many great performances surrounding him, whereas really the whole point of The Theory of Everything is just watching Eddie Redmayne's deterioration, suffering from ALS. And again, I'm not trying to take anything away from that film. The Theory of Everything is an unbelievable movie, but it's made or broken on that performance. Whereas Birdman, yes, it would have suffered if the performance had been lesser, but there were a lot of really fantastic supporting characters surrounding the entire concept of the movie. So everything about it worked really well together, and it was a lot of harmony that really worked. So that's why I felt that Michael Keaton's performance should have been a little bit more recognized, but I mean, it was in almost every other aspect of the award season. I mean, he won left, right, and center. Eddie Redmayne actually wasn't even nominated for the Spirit Awards, which I thought was kind of interesting, because I always thought it was going to be between those two. But obviously, Julianne Moore won Best Lead Actress for Still Alice, and very well deserved. That was a career win for her right there. J.K. Simmons obviously winning Best Supporting Actor. I don't think there was ever anybody else in that category that could have gone toe-to-toe with him. My only one who I would have said would have probably been Edward Norton. But it was J.K. Simmons' award to lose, and he thankfully did not lose it. He won. Patricia Arquette naturally won Best Supporting Actress. I was really, really pulling for Emma Stone there. But let's face it, we all knew that it was going to be Patricia Arquette taking that award home. And her acceptance speech was also really good about, the equality of women in the industry, not just talking about the types of roles they get, but the money that they get paid. Because it's a very, very well-known fact nowadays that women in most jobs do not make if they have the exact same responsibilities, the exact same job as a male counterpart, they make less money. And I mean, I am definitely against it. I'm going to throw in a little joke here. I am definitely against it, 100%. I do think there should be equality, but what's his name? Jim Jeffries said it best. He's like, no, women do not deserve to make as much as men because there are so many different holidays and occasions made specifically for women that men have to purchase items for, that we need that extra, extra amount of money to pay for all that stuff. I thought that was a really poignant observation on his part. Now, back to all seriousness, I do believe that does need to be adjusted, that women do need to, there's no reason why they shouldn't. I mean, we're equal people, male, female, white, black, Hispanic, does not matter. Everybody should be making the same amount unless it's about their star power or their amount of time in the film. I mean, if you have somebody like, let's just say Dev Patel has a 10-minute role in a movie that stars Tom Cruise. Well, at that point, I don't believe that Dev Patel should have the same amount of money as Tom Cruise. If you put Meryl Streep in a film and she's only in it for 20, let's say for instance, you put Meryl Streep in Into the Woods and her role was sized down even more. And then you have her making the same amount as Emily Blunt. Well, Emily Blunt's character pretty well carries the story. So looking at it from that perspective, it all depends on the criteria and all the situation. But if the role demands X amount of screen time and this role demands the same amount of screen time, the same amount of adjustment in the script, well, at that point, if it's played by a man or a woman, the dollar amount should not change. So I really felt that it was really good of her to bring that up. And then with Best Original Screenplay, based on the Writers Guild Association awards that they had, I actually pegged Grand Budapest Hotel to win for Best Original Screenplay. I mean, a lot of people have been curious about this movie because while it was fairly well received by critics, I know that there are a lot of people, to me, it's a movie where you either hate it or you love it. And to me, I was kind of in the middle. I didn't understand all the love for it. It's a quirky film, don't get me wrong. It's a nice film, but to me, it's not going to stand the test of time. It's not going to be a movie that I keep revisiting over and over and over again. But I felt that there were going to be certain awards that it was going to be the one to win. And it actually won a lot of the technical ones. But the fact that Birdman actually came out with the Best Original Screenplay, I mean, I thought that was kind of out of left field because while I did like the screenplay, I don't think that it should have won Best Original Screenplay. But again, that's just my personal opinion. After watching the movie several times, I don't believe that it should have won. I actually do think that Grand Budapest Hotel had a better script. I just think the overall production and the overall product that was created, Birdman was better than Grand Budapest Hotel. But again, that's just my opinion. Imitation Game winning Best Adapted Screenplay. I mean, Graham Moore's acceptance speech for that movie, like that almost brought me to tears. I haven't gone that far. I've had feelings like that before, and I have been in that place before. And the fact that he even stated that, a while back, I was at a point where I was ready to end my life. And now I'm standing here through perseverance, through the sheer will of wanting to continue on. And the message that he sent out with that was just incredible. It was fascinating, and it was hitting all the right notes. I mean, it was, in my opinion, it was the best acceptance speech of the night, save for Common and John Legend. Well, mostly Common's comments when he won for Glory. But yeah, I mean, his acceptance speech for that was, bar none, the best of the night. I mean, it was the most poignant. It was the most effective. Just everything about it worked, and it really told the best story. It just, don't give up. Stay weird, Stay different. You don't need to conform. You don't need to be the same as everybody else. Now, that being said, don't dress like you're about to walk into a room and shoot everybody. I don't understand why I see people wearing like the big combat boots that go all the way up to their knees with, black overcoats and long black hair and just a general pissed off appearance. And it's like, why are you getting mad at me for criticizing what you look like when I'm actually scared for myself and the people around me? Now, I know that that's judging a book by its cover, but still, I mean, I don't understand what people are trying to portray when they're dressing like that. Because the natural opinion to see something like that is to be a little bit worried about, okay, I don't know what's going to happen to that person. What are they concealing, Outside of that, again, I know that's kind of persecution, but still, I mean, that to me is more of a personal safety thing. I may be incorrect. It may like it's just my personal opinion on that matter. But working where I work, I see a lot of people like that, and there's a lot of people even in the mall. Like there are security guards that are called to deal with these people when they're in the mall because people don't know what's going to happen. They don't like why dress like that? Why call all that attention to yourself when obviously you keep saying to people that you hate attention? I know I'm going off on a really big tangent, but still, let's get back to this. Let's get back to talking about the Oscars. So best cinematography was the other one that I had predicted, and again I was correct with Birdman. I mean, I don't think there was any chance of any other movie winning out on best cinematography because Birdman inherently is done as a single take. Well, they did cut it up. Like there were 7 to 10 minute segments of the movie, and then they would cut, and then they would go to another sequence. But it was done as though it was just a fluid motion. And so that to me wasn't a surprise. The biggest surprises to me was Interstellar beating Dawn of the Planet of the Apes for best visual effects. And while, looking at it, yes, Interstellar had some breathtaking visual effects. But to me, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes succeeded where nobody else did, which was being able to create a fully photorealistic creation that was not just a stationary landscape. It was just breathtaking. Now, with Interstellar, the whole sequence when they're going through the wormhole, all of those graphics that they're looking at through the cockpit, that was all pre-rendered. That was all created before they even shot that scene. And it was projected to them to add into the feeling of actually going through this and really allowing the actors to really fulfill what their roles were designed to do. And so I understood that, but to me personally, I felt that Dawn of the Planet of the Apes deserved to win that. Just the accomplishment alone of what it did for what filmmaking can now achieve is, to me, just incredible. And the other one, while not necessarily an upset, but it was more of a surprise, was Big Hero 6 beating out How to Train Your Dragon 2. I did not see that coming. I thought How to Train Your Dragon 2 was going to win. And like I said, I was happy with it. It was a surprise. To me, it was just odd that, like everybody else, Lego Movie wasn't even nominated. Although it did get nominated for Best Song, which I thought was good, but alas, it didn't win. And for good reason, because the song from Glory was a better song. And Common performed it better. It was more poignant. It was more effective. There's no more words to say about it. It was the best song of the night. Everything is Awesome is a great song, don't get me wrong. But it doesn't hold a candle to Glory. So that's just my personal opinion. It is worth noting, though, and a lot of people have been mentioning this on the fan sites, this is the first time since the expanded Best Picture category that every nominee has won an Academy Award in some fashion. So, you had Imitation Game, for instance, won Best Screenplay. You have Theory of Everything winning Best Actor. You have Whiplash winning Best Sound Mixing. What were some of the other ones? You had Grand Budapest Hotel winning, Best Costume Design. You had Birdman obviously winning Best Picture and Best Director. You had Boyhood winning Best Supporting Actress. Every movie came out and actually had a category, which was really nice. Usually there are some movies that come out and they don't win anything, which is, it's too bad. But this year was a very staggered year, and I really did like it. And I am just so happy for Alejandro Inarritu for winning not only Best Screenwriter, Best Director, and Best Picture. So to me, it was a winning night. I just wish the performance of the actual ceremony itself could have been better, but that's just my opinion. Well, now we have a whole year to wait, so we got a lot of great movies coming out this year, hopefully, knock on wood. I do think that this year is going to be another unique year. I just want the Academy Awards ceremony to A, be about half an hour to 45 minutes shorter. B, take out the musical numbers. We don't need them anymore. I'm still fine with having that category there, but don't have all the musical numbers, because you see, the one point last night with the I think it was the best foreign film. I can't remember exactly which category it was, where the guy kept talking. He just kept talking. The music cue came up and it got louder and louder and louder, and he just kept talking. And then the music cue went off and he just kept going and going and going. And then the music cue started up again and he kept talking. To me, I hate, why are we giving more screen time to these musical numbers when the people who are being presented the awards, the whole reason why we're watching this, they're being cut short to, sometimes 25 to 30 seconds for their acceptance speech, including walking up to the podium. I mean, that to me is absolutely ridiculous. And they need to get rid of some of those and give them actual time for their speeches. That's what they need to do. And that's my personal opinion. But this time next year, we will be covering another Oscar season. So I hope you guys tune in next year. But until next time, we will be updating all of the information about some of these movies and other ones that we do consider that are going to be maybe considered for Oscar contention next year. So, let me know in the comment section who you guys wanted to win, who you thought should have won, and who are some of the big surprises. Let me know in the comment section below. Nicolas Cage has gone ahead and joined the upcoming Oliver Stone biopic about Edward Snowden titled Snowden. This, to me, I am fascinated by this project because, first off, you have Joseph Gordon-Levitt playing Edward Snowden. Shailene Woodley is going to be portraying his girlfriend. But just listen to this supporting cast. Not only do we have Nicolas Cage, whose size of his role in the movie is not known yet. We don't know if he's going to be playing I think he's going to be a fairly smaller character. I think he's going to be a very, very supporting character. But we also have Melissa Leo, Zachary Quinto, Tom Wilkinson, Timothy Olyphant, Rhys Ifans, and Jolie Richardson. I mean, this is a great cast, and and I talked about this when I talked about the story last time on the show. This is the type of story where Oliver Stone thrives. I mean, my all-time favorite film is JFK. And the conspiracy, the government cover-ups, all this kind of stuff, this is where Oliver Stone thrives, in my opinion. These are where his best movies lie. And with a cast this stacked, with the subject matter being so poignant, I think that this is going to be a film that we're all going to remember. At least I hope. I hope that Oliver Stone can get back to the filmmaker that he was. I mean, it's been, 15 years since we've seen a great Oliver Stone movie? I think the last one that I can think of, and correct me if I'm wrong, but the last one that I can think of is Any Given Sunday, which was in 1999. I believe it was 99. And ever since then, I haven't seen an Oliver Stone movie that I really, really liked. Like, I did not care for Alexander. World Trade Center, yeah, it was good, but it was nothing special. To me, it was really weird that he didn't go any further into that. It was just a very straightforward story about these two guys trying to survive. With the amount of political intrigue that was surrounding that project, I really thought that he was going to go further with it. W, didn't care for it really at all. Savages, I thought was okay. It had a couple of misses, especially the ending. The ending didn't work for me. But he is still a very talented director. I mean, you just go back and look at Nixon, Born on the 4th of July. You look at JFK. You look at Platoon, Wall Street. I mean, the guy has a very, very good track record. Not recently, but he does have a very good track record. I hope he can get back to that because he, to me, is one of the more fascinating directors. I mean, just go and watch any of the behind the scenes on JFK and just look at the turmoil that he had to go through to get that movie made and the lengths at which he went to. Like, all that whole Dealey Plaza sequence, not the one where oh my God, why am I drawing a blank right now? Where Kevin Costner's character, Jim Garrison, when Jim Garrison and his colleague are up at Lou are up in the actual building and they're going over, why wasn't the parade route over here? Why did they? This was the original route. Why did they move it? And it's because of this. And they could have shooters here and here and here. I'm talking about the actual reconstruction of the assassination. They spent, God, how much money did they spend on that? And they spent like a week shooting it. And it was in the movie for I think you can accumulate all of that footage into 1 minute of screen time. The White House set that was in the movie that they had on screen, I believe it was 17 seconds. It might have even been less, but I believe it was 17 seconds that it was on screen. It cost them like $75,000 to make that set. And it was on screen for 17 seconds. So, I mean, the amount of detail that this guy is willing to put into a movie to make sure that it is accurate, that it is authentic. I am on board with that 100%. I cannot wait for this. This cast alone and Nicolas Cage joining on board. I mean, let's not let's not mince words. Nicolas Cage is a great actor. He just is doing a lot of his work because A, he enjoys acting, and B, he needs a paycheck. He has been fighting this bankruptcy thing for years. And that kind of happens when you have a pyramid tomb built for yourself for when you die. Yeah, Nicolas Cage did that. He has a pyramid. It's like 9 or 10 feet tall. It's an actual pyramid where he will be buried when he dies. Like, the guy's a nut job. Let's just be honest. But he's a great actor. And when he wants to be a good actor, he turns it on. I mean, just look at Joe. Look at Mud. Look at those, or not Mud, sorry. Look at Joe. Look at that movie that he did. I believe it was 2013? Yeah, it was 2013. When he wants to act, he can act. Sorry, I was thinking Mud because of Ty Sheridan. Sorry, Nicholas. I was thinking of Abed from Community. I'm a cat. I'm a sexy cat. I mean, always be caging, right? So, no, I'm on board with Nicolas Cage in almost any project that he goes on to, as long as it looks like it's worthwhile. I mean, you know, he's got that new one, not Ironclad. I can't even remember. It's a direct-to-DVD movie he did with Hayden Christensen. And, you know, it looks terrible. He looks like he's just been drunk through the whole thing. I'm excited for Nicolas Cage to come back and do an actual film. I really want him to regain his star status because he has the potential. He's just a nut job. And he needs to really rein that in. He needs to get that under control. So I'm on board with this. The movie's currently in production. It just started, I believe, a week ago. So we're probably going to, within the next couple of months, we're going to start seeing a few pictures from this. And then eventually come the summer, we're going to get our first trailer of this movie. Now, if it's anything like what Citizen 4 was like, we're in for a hell of a story, because this guy's story about what he had to go through, whether or not you believe what he did was good or bad or anything of that sort, what he actually went through and the support that he got is fascinating from all these different sects of the government. So I'm really looking forward to this. I can't wait for it. It's going to be opening up on December 25th of this year, as long as it stays on its current schedule. So if we do get more information about this topic, I will definitely update you guys on here. Well, that'll about do it for us here on Coming Soon Movie News with Niklsun. Thank you so much for watching. You guys have been a great audience. Go ahead and click that subscribe button there in the bottom corner. You can get updates whenever we post a new video. You can also follow me on Twitter at Niklsun, Niklsun, for all of your movie updates. And also give us a like on our Facebook page at facebook.com/movie news with Niklsun. If you ever have a topic or question you'd like to have discussed on this show, you can go ahead and put a comment in the comment section, or you can email us at movienewswithniklsun@gmail.com. And on every Friday episode, we'll try to get to as many as we can. But until next time, you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Take care.